right, going live. Pull up.
Everything is on.
It's on. Is this thing on?
That thing on?
Is this thing on?
Be there in a minute.
Hey everybody, Callie here.
Hi, Callie.
I am
What are you doing? You watching videos on YouTube?
There we go. All right. Coming live. Coming live. We can't set this up until it's live, so I have to wait. Yeah, you're in the shot. I can still turn a little
What
bit.
do you say? You gotta wait for it?
I gotta wait for it.
I hate waiting for it.
Yep.
I want it now. Now.
It's the American way.
That's why I have so much anxiety, I guess.
Let's see. I'll come back to that. Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. We done made it through a bunch of good days. Y'all pop a top with us.
Yeah.
We've I guess since the last live at 5, we're
Once we were on that beach by
We're
that
up.
sailboat.
we're in Florida and we're in Georgia now.
That's right.
That's right. So we made that milestone.
That is good.
Jumped across the state line.
Yeah. Georgia. Our first stop in Georgia is probably the most beautiful spot that I have seen yet.
Yep.
So it's quite a peach. See what I
Yeah,
did there?
I see what you did there. It's very peachy.
Beautiful. Cumberland Island. Unbelievable.
Yep.
Maybe it's just me, but they have long stretches of beach without seeing another person. The wild horses is a little cherry on the cake. The live oaks, man. Miles of canopy, just enormously beautiful places to walk. And the rangers don't care if you bring the dogs or not.
They don't pretty much leave you alone.
Yep.
One of the few places that
Yeah.
they just leave you alone.
When we first got here, I saw a ranger. I said, "Don't worry, I'll clean up after the dogs." And he kind of looked at me like there's enormous piles of horse crap everywhere. We don't care about your dogs.
That's
Little
probably was the deal.
Probably.
We hadn't seen them yet.
Right. Yeah, and there are enormous piles of horse.
I swear it looks like all the horses just go to one place.
Yeah, it must be.
It's got to be.
Yeah, right.
That cannot come out of one horse.
And we did see horses. We saw everything Cumberland Island has to offer: the ruins, the beach, the amazing forests, campsites.
Yeah, well, we didn't go north yet. Probably not going to make it. We got.
Yeah, we only saw the southern tip of the island.
Yeah, we only saw.
It's already beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Those that follow me on Facebook, Michael Steen, I've been putting up pictures and some videos, and I just put up a little vid a while ago, and
I haven't put up anything.
yeah, but it's I've been saying it doesn't disappoint. Everybody that's talked about it has been spot on.
Yep.
I don't believe I have personally ever been to a beach that was totally there was no people on it. When we walked out and we walked for a half a mile or a
As
mile.
far as the eye can see, not the GoPro, but as far as the eye could see.
And me zooming in with a camera, which you can see that.
Yeah, nothing.
Nobody but
No
horses.
people.
That was it.
During the week.
But that was on a Thursday?
Yeah, but it's during the week.
Yeah, during the week.
On the weekend, it's a
Definitely.
little more busy. But
Yeah, a little more busy.
it's not crazy. It's not Huguenot Park. That's for
Oh,
sure.
no, yeah. Yeah, it's not far from Jacksonville. They have a ferry that comes in. They come every couple of hours, it seems. I think it's what it is.
Yeah.
So you can come here for relatively cheap. It's only like $15 one way, $30 round trip. You can camp on the island. Super nice camp spots.
Very nice. Very isolated. You're not on top of each other.
Yeah, you don't see the people next to you.
Right.
Like,
Remember Cayo Costa?
yeah.
It was like jail cells.
Yeah.
This is your spot. This is your spot. This is your spot. This
Yeah.
is your spot. This is your spot. You can see
And hot, all close together. No hardly
no
trees.
coverage. Yeah. This is mind blown. Every single campsite seemed to be so nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna put up a snippet video in the next day or so for y'all. You can just see just a little section of it. That's what I'm gonna do on my videos is put out a real-time snippet. It's just a snippet, and then there'll be the regular videos starting, and we're trying to get the GoPro to fly, or not the GoPro,
Oh my God!
the drone to fly, so I can finish my intro.
I don't even want to talk anymore because we talked about the good stuff, and I'm just.
Yeah, there's definitely been some challenges. Let me get through this, and then he can tell you about his challenges. If we have a subscriber willing to help out and move the truck, we're going to be at Dallas Bluff Marina in Townsend, Georgia. Hopefully by Thursday, nearabouts.
It's a long ways.
Or Wednesday, yeah. Hopefully by Wednesday, but it could be Thursday.
Yeah, probably Thursday.
Well, it's
a long way.
It better be Wednesday if we can, because there's a blow coming in.
There's always a blow.
Yeah, but there's a good one coming, so we're going to try to run on the outside. If it's like it was the other day, and we expect it to be according to Wendy in the wind direction, it was like it is out here, almost flat calm. Unbelievable. So anyways, if anybody's available, you live towards the coast here, somewhere about Thursday, send me an email to mike@michaeljsteen.com, and we appreciate the pickup.
Dallas Bluff, what is it? Dallas Bluff Marina sounds like something right up our alley.
Yes, it is. I talked to the guy. He contacted me, and super cheap. I can't even believe it's that cheap. So I'm waiting to see when we get there. But you're right. It sounds like a marina like that we want to show you.
Sure. Well, it's not. I made a comparison to Isla Mirada. We stopped at the Postcard Inn, and it's brand new, fancy as all get out, including this ginormous screen with a projection, right? And you could sit there on the beach and play Mario Kart. And there's an enormous screen between you and the water. The ocean is right there. And I wondered why on earth would you sit there and play a video game when you're amongst such beauty? The sand, the water.
And that water is like tops the water.
Absolutely.
I mean, blue, clear,
gorgeous.
See right into to the bottom.
And you're going to pay top dollar to spend your time at that marina with
Mario Kart.
With the trees that are imported, the sands imported, the video games, the nonsense. I don't want any of that. And that's why I think Dallas Bluff is going to be no nonsense.
Family-owned marina for 40, 50 years. I'm
Not
excited
a big
about
place
getting
from what I can see.
But they have like bands on Friday nights.
Sure.
And kind of like family atmosphere. Very friendly.
Yeah.
Very friendly.
Southern hospitality, that sort of thing. That's why I like this place that we're parked in front of, because it's not touched. Nobody has to maintain anything. Don't touch anything. Leave the Spanish moss. Leave the live oaks. For God's sakes, leave the dunes and everything as it was intended to be. And it is gorgeous without fertilizer and manipulation, and you're touching it.
It has good smells. We were talking about the other day.
Everything.
The oaks, and the smell is fresh.
Yeah.
A lot of times near saltwater you have that smell of the muck and all.
Yeah.
I don't smell that unless I get out here where I was walking earlier.
Right, where it smells like low tide.
Like low tide. I don't know if you've been near the beach, but that's just a great smell walking through the oaks, like you said. And
it's quiet. There's so much growth as you're walking through the forest. It's all you hear is the crunch, crunch, crunch of your feet, and no sounds of planes or cars or boats or people. Just ear-splittingly quiet, and there's songbirds everywhere. It's Hansel and Gretel's forest without the witches and the bad stuff. It's gorgeous, man.
Let me tell a good thing that I seen, and then Marty can tell you his challenges. So we are sitting right behind you is Kings Bay Naval Station, I think. I don't know exact naval base, whatever the exact name is. It's called Kings Bay. And we had talked about, people had said, that the submarines come in and out of here. And so, I was like, it'd be cool to see that. Yeah. Well, originally we were anchored about a mile up, and we can see Kings Bay. Now there's an island between us, but you can see a little bit of it. But so anyways, we were sitting there, and I was out back. Marty was in his boat a little ways away, probably a couple hundred yards. And I heard the radio come on, the VHF came on, and they
Channel 16?
Channel 16. It was, I leave it on. And it was Securite. This is United States vessel Navy vessel, and he gave a number for it. He said something like a naval vessel will be transiting the St. Mary's River, stay at least 400 yards away, and under no circumstances pass in front of her. So I was like, oh Lord,
This ought to be good, right?
this ought to be good. And I grabbed my good camera that zooms. This phone, no, it's the one y'all are watching us with. That camera, nope, I got the wrong one. God, look at that. As soon as I said that, I got the wrong one up there. But anyways,
Still works, right?
yeah, it works, but people can't do what they're doing.
Okay.
So this camera will zoom in like you can't believe. Sure enough, this big orange, what looks kind of like a tugboat, in a not a battleship, but you can tell it's a military style boat,
Gunship. Right?
like a gunship, like the two combination. We assume that it can help the ships and whatever move if need be, but his main idea is to be out there in front, keeping everybody away. And a couple little smaller boats took off and ran, and then out of the big dome thing over the water came the sub, and it came out, and it was super cool. I've been on subs before, but in museums. Matter of fact, Charleston has one. But that was super cool. I was freaking texting Marty, was trying to call him saying, there's a sub, and it was right behind us. And I'll throw some pictures up, you'll see it.
I missed it just like I missed the freaking launch over in Titusville. Golly.
But anyways, that was something cool. So
Yeah.
Marty's had some
I
challenges.
saw your pictures. I mean, that submarine looked enormous.
Yes. Like over the boat, probably like,
You know, you have the long cylindrical submarine, and there's a tower, a con, or whatever, right in the middle.
Yeah.
That part looked bigger than most of the ships that we see.
yeah. I don't know what class it was. Hey, someone sent me an email or a Facebook thing, and I'm gonna see if I can interview him because he can tell us all.
Yeah, well, there's tour boats that come by here, and they get real close where we were, at least. And I heard the guy talking to all the tourists, and they're like, over there, if you look on the port side, there's a submarine base, and in there, there's a bunch of class ships, that have the most powerful weapons in the world. There's like 7 of them right now on Earth, and you can find them right there. There's like 3 or 4 of them, and they're very secure about it, yada yada. So I'm listening to this, and I'm going, oh, you know what? That makes me want to leave this place, actually. Knowing how close we are to such destructive things. And a little side note, we had an electrical storm that came in. We were on anchor, and this storm comes over. A small cell. And there's boom, boom. I happen to see them. 2 strikes. These bolts come down to the water, less than a mile away. And I hear the rolling clap of thunder. And I was like, whoa, that was pretty close. I hope it doesn't get worse. Shortly thereafter, I hear this announcement. And it sounds like it's a booming voice. And it's from the sub base. And they're like, attention, attention, there is an electrical storm nearby. Everybody take shelter now. And, and I'm listening to that. And I'm like, these people are playing with bombs and guns and all kinds of warships. And they're afraid of lightning?
Hey, that might be because they have bombs, and lightning and bombs don't mix.
I didn't think about that, but maybe that's the case.
Yeah.
But anywho, it's not just the storms. When we first got here, it was very rolly, it was very windy. I didn't sleep a lot because I kept thinking that there was going to be a moment where my boat is dragging anchor. So you got to be very, very aware.
Live at 5, we got some fans coming up.
Yeah.
Coming up behind us.
Hey! Yeah, we've met them already once before.
Yep.
Cool folks.
Yep. They brought us some beer.
They did. Thank you for the beer, man.
Yep. Appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah.
Brought us some beer there in Jacksonville.
Yep. So anyways, I'm worried about dragging anchor, and that's stressful enough. And now I don't want to joke about it. Bayard has been sick now for 3 days.
Freeze 1 second. Dan Hawk sent me a long text on Facebook. I'd love to interview you, Dan. So if you send me a message, and I need to reach out to you because he's gonna tell us.
What's the name? Dan?
His name's Dan Hawk. The story he says.
About the sub base.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, Bill Frank. Dan too. Dan worked there, but check this out. Bill says the cup I hold on board, or the cup I hold is one that I had on board the submarine. The black steel disc in the other hand, the cup in my right hand, and the black steel disc in my other hand is a weight for the TDU, trash disposal unit, to weigh down the trash when we jettison out the bottom of the boat. So this guy's got stories.
Wow.
Bill Frank, love to interview. All right, we got some challenges.
Bill, yeah, I when I don't know if I told the story already. When I worked in New York City, Manhattan, for a couple of years back in my day, we didn't have smartphones or any kind of entertainment on a tablet, so I had to read. And one of the things I read a lot was Tom Clancy. And the first Tom Clancy book I ever read was Hunt for Red October. And he goes into a lot of details about submarines and warfare. And then he's got, I don't know how many of his books that I read, a lot. Because I had nothing to do except hold on to the strap and wait for an hour and a half to get to work. And then an hour and a half to get home. And then I would read every night. So back then, I was a bit of a bookworm, and submarine stuff was very near and dear to my heart because it's a crazy bunch of stories.
But in this place, I had so many people talking about how proud they were to be Americans and to see that, and that's exactly the feeling I had.
Yep.
Those that have served like that, so thank you so much for your service.
Indeed, and you know what? The boaters around here are very respectful. We've been passed by a bunch of boats that easily could have waked us and been, acted a fool, like we saw in Sarasota and Bradenton and other places. No offense to y'all who were there, but we've had a few incidences with boats that were less than respectful. Here, they call you on the radio and ask for a pass. Everybody slows down. Even in here, there's no reason for people to go slow, but everybody does, and there seems to be a lot of respect.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, I'm liking Georgia so far.
Yeah.
We've only been here for this long, Florida's great. Florida's absolutely great for many, many reasons. But so far, Georgia is proving to be pretty cool too. I think all the other states are going to be like that. South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia.
I think so. Yep.
So, so back to challenges, and I mentioned dog being sick. I've got the black dog, the black lab, has now had somewhat explosive diarrhea, and for like 3 days.
Throwing up?
Dude, he threw up in the bed, and the best analogy was like, imagine a gallon of milk, and then take a sharp razor and cut it open. And all that milk pours out. Blah, ah. Except it's not milk, it's puke. And it's right next to your freaking head. And it came so quick he couldn't get out of bed. And I've got 5 big pillows on the bed. He got 4 of them. So I crumple everything up. The comfort of the sheets, the pillowcases. And it's so hard. I don't want to be mad at him because he's sick. Bless his heart.
It's like a kid.
Yes, right. But I'm like, dude, really? Oh my God. So I'm rolling everything up, and it's a big clump. I'm realizing I'm not sleeping in my bed tonight. And now I'm going to worry about him being sick. So I go and I open the companionway door, I hold it open, and then I come back, I grab my bedding, and I'm walking towards the door to get out of the boat, out of the cabin, and the smell of poop hits me. I'm like, oh my God. And I go outside and turn the light on, and there's diarrhea on the back of the boat. And I'm holding my comforter, which is full of puke. Oh my God. It's big. Oh my God. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever it was. I just want to go to sleep. And it's blowing stink outside, and I'm like...
It was rough.
So I put my comforter on the seat where I navigate from downstairs. I just place it there. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. And then since then, he has probably crapped on the boat maybe 20 times. In the bed, in the cabin, out back, on the side of the boat, in the front of the boat. He crapped on the grass, on the artificial grass once or twice. I'm like, yay, I guess. Oh my God. Just stop, please. Just get better. And this is coming up on 3 days, and he's fun. Yesterday he didn't eat, and it was starting to hit me pretty hard. Like He's my buddy. You know? Him and I have been through a lot, so I worry about him. But he seems to be getting better.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, today I guess he ate for the first time. Well, he ate a whole bowl. He's out there on the beach.
I don't want to make an ass out of myself and
Yeah.
fucking blubber it, but you know what? I'm with him every day, all day. A lot of people have dogs. They go to work, they come home, the dog's there. They spend, a third of their day with him. I'm with this dog every
24/7.
24/7 for a long time now, so I worry about him. And we were in a spot where if he requires attention, it would be a hard thing to do. To get it for him, so I started feeling guilty. Like
We're about the most remote spot we've been in.
yeah. So I'm hoping tomorrow. It's funny the things that we pray for when we're adults, the things that make us feel good. Like I hope my dog has a solid poop. You have no idea how good that would make me feel.
I think he's on the way there. I think
And that comes on the heels of me wishing for engines that work. And the past couple of days, I opened the hatch, checked my motors, and the reservoirs are full of coolant, and everything works the way it's supposed to work. And they're even starting better. Knock wood again. Everything is working great with the motors, and then all of a sudden that means nothing when my dog is sick.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, why?
It's
Else?
minor. It's
Yes.
minor compared to.
Yeah, and it's just been a lot of challenges. 3 days ago, maybe we spent a night where we did the live at 5.
Yeah.
And it was the best night on the trip. The wind was out of the right direction. There was plenty of space. I had the extra chain. I wasn't worried about the anchor dragging, and I slept really good. I had both generators going. The air conditioning was on. Everything was so perfect for one day.
Because he wasn't sick yet.
The following day, Bayard got sick, and it's been stressful since then. But I'm looking forward to more, hopefully, good days. I hope my boy gets better, and it's funny what you worry about. Everybody says, health is everything. As long as you have your health.
So we're kind of kicking around trying to figure out a little bit what it is, and trying to remember back when he's had these episodes before. So we start paying a lot of attention. Is it possible that he gets seasick? Because he's gotten seasick, the best we can tell,
At Titusville?
at Titusville, where it was extremely rough,
Mm-hmm.
here where it was extremely rough.
Yep.
And he seemed to perk up when we got off on the island yesterday.
Yep.
He got a little better.
Yep.
Then he went down a little bit, and then today.
But does seasickness cause that freaking diarrhea?
I mean, that's just we just kind of like starting to pay attention.
Yeah.
Could it be that? Because you would think if it was a virus, she would have got it. Jabs would have got it.
Right. And
Because
so
one
far
gives
she's
it
good.
to the other.
Yeah, but that happened at Titusville.
Right.
They both got sick.
Right. Which, they
Wasn't
were
that
near,
long ago.
and they were near other people, dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
We're out here in the middle of nowhere, pretty much.
Both times it came on the heels of them running around on an island.
Yeah, because you said maybe them drinking salt water. Maybe it was that.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
they
Jabs
drink
was
something.
drinking it too. But
Yeah.
you may have heard me in my videos screaming at them, don't eat that, don't eat that. Because I'm always terrified. Here on there's globs of horse crap everywhere. And nothing seems more delicious to a dog than a big pile of horse crap. Oh my God.
Now we have been talking about things that he may have to work on because this is surely going to happen more. So maybe like
Plastic for the bed.
plastic for the beds,
Mhm.
because it's like he said when Bayard threw up in
Oh my
your
God.
your not the comforter but the
Everything.
foam thing, it gets down
Yeah,
into
yeah.
that. So maybe if he once he realizes he's sick, puts this big plastic thing down, and then it's kind of like a baby.
Yeah.
Like when kids are young,
yeah.
they have plastic covers, for the beds for that
Oh,
reason.
so gross.
Whew. That's
So
only thing I can say is that I got two different beds on the boat. I'd have to leave one and go to the other.
I slept in the bunk that night. There's a little bunk on the side. I couldn't sleep in the bed because, again, once I balled up the comforter and the sheets, the 4-inch of foam was still wet. It was so nasty.
So yet next day you were doing all laundry and
Yeah,
had stuff
yeah.
hanging all over the boat.
I got a water container that holds 7 gallons. Very heavy when it's full. I used every drop of it doing my laundry. Comforter, sheets, pillowcases, hung everything up. It took all day. And then we took the dogs ashore. They started to seem better. And when I got back, the comforters, we were supposed to get rain. We didn't, thank goodness. Otherwise, I would have been sleeping on the bunk the second night. But everything was nice and clean. And I probably have to do it again because Bayard's not over exploding these bodily fluids all over like the inside of my boat.
So when we get to Dallas Bluff Marina, they'll have I'm sure, washer and dryer. We can really
Dude, by then he's got to be better.
Yeah.
He can't
Yeah, if
be
he
safe
ain't,
for that long.
otherwise we'll have to be
I'll
seeking.
be looking for a vet.
Yeah. Which St. Mary's is about 7-8 miles that way. We're already planning we'll be going back there.
You know,
Tuesday
the last
morning.
time I brought Bayard to a vet, he was a little tiny thing, and the vet told me that he had parvo, and he was very, very young. He was just a little tiny puppy. And the vet said, "Well, if you want, we can put him down now." And I was like, "Dude, fuck, no, you're not gonna kill my puppy." And he said, "Well, you have 2 options. One is very expensive, and it works 50-50. You know, it's 50% of the time they live, 50% of the time they die. The other is rather cheap, and they live about 50% of the time." I was like, "We'll do the cheap one." So instead of all the tests and the rigmarole, they shot electrolytes under his skin to keep him hydrated, because he said parvo is usually going to kill a dog through dehydration. And then every day after work, I'd come home, bundle him up, take him to the vet, and the vet would squirt liquid under his skin, hand him to me in a towel, and they were like, he might leak a little bit through his, and he'd have this big boil on it under his skin where liquids would eventually penetrate his body and keep him from dehydrating. But I tell you this because last time I brought him to a vet, they said, "Well, you might as well just put him down." And that was over 10 years ago. So I dread, and the thought of that the other day hit me really, really hard, of taking him to a vet while I'm on this journey. He's been with me for so much, you know.
You know, I heard after you said that, I heard him talk about canine insurance. You know, that especially if you're having some problems, might be a good time to look into
maybe
some canine insurance.
Maybe.
You know, only because if you had to go, I mean, I hear stories of people.
If they eat like a nylon,
and they
your
have
wife's
that,
pantyhose, and they got to be cut open to cut them open. That's very expensive.
I mean, my buddy Mountain Man Jim Reddick just not long ago they went and spent several $1,000s because they didn't have insurance.
Yeah.
So that might be something.
And the worst part is you spend all that money, and you wind up putting the dog down.
Yeah. So that would be.
So Bayard he's pretty old now. He's coming up on 11 probably, 10, 11 at least. It's hard to tell. I check my Facebook memories to see how old he is. But yeah, I can't see insuring a dog that's that old.
Well, actually,
if I take him to a vet and they're like, "Dude, he's sick because he's got some terminal cancer," then this is a wonderful subject, isn't it? But this is what I've been going through. It's funny how when you're on the loop, you have experiences. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Hopefully he's better. We'll let you know in the next live at 5s. But that's, again, how do you deal with life's adversity? Whether it's a sick dog, sick child, sick husband, wife, whatever it is, or a motor that doesn't work.
It's much more challenging on the boat because, you know, at home you've got yards, you got tile floor, you got.
Yeah, but at least you go inside and you're
That's
not worried
what I mean.
about the house
Yeah,
drifting and,
yeah.
and crashing into your neighbor's house.
It definitely adds a
Woo,
level.
It gets challenging sometimes.
But then there's great days. I mean, today have been.
Yesterday
yeah,
and today both.
yeah.
We walked around Cumberland Island and saw the most beautiful place I'd ever seen.
Yep. But no doubt about it. But so we're gonna leave you this part with.
Let me add something to that. As far as a death and all this stuff that hits you. We walked through this place. There's a cemetery. There's a couple cemeteries. One of them has a tombstone that says General Lee, Robert E. Lee, or something. And it could be the famous general. It might not be. I don't know my history. I don't know. I've read conflicting reports as to whether or not that's actually his resting space. But I thought, what a great place to spend eternity.
All right.
We took video of it. You'll have to see. It's right by this mansion built by the Carnegies, I guess, in the 1800s. And
It's been since burned down.
yeah, so
Disgruntled fishermen, I think.
yeah, right. Those fishermen, I tell you. But it's an amazing place, and the whole island was awesome. Even the remnants of the buildings didn't really strike me, but the cemeteries did. I felt a little bit of a sensation of ghosts or whatever it is, and I'm not really into that, but I felt a spirit of maybe people that lived and loved and laughed on this island right here. People that had animals and loved ones and everything going through what I'm experiencing right now and more. And they lived their lives here. In the 1800s, can you imagine? I can't imagine, dude.
That to me, I went up to the building. I think there's some signs that say you shouldn't go in. I may or may not have followed those signs.
You really? Come on.
But
I didn't.
what struck me?
What I was supposed to
What
do.
struck me was I'm a pirate, so that's
Yeah.
all right. That's what pirates do. But what struck me is inside that building, they have red bricks, which is what they used well back in the days. But you noticed how, like in the floor was gone. So when you looked in, it looked like it went down
To the basement?
about 10 feet.
Wow.
But then you could see over in the walls where it was mortised in what would have been big timbers that would have crossed it. And then I'm sure they would have had
The floor
planking,
joists.
the floor joists, and then they'd have had planking across that.
Wow.
And seeing those red bricks and just thinking how long that's been there, that's the cool thing about super old stuff like that. It's can't put into words that it's a reverence.
I was
that
a
you feel.
stonemason for a little while, so I appreciated all the time that must
Yep.
have gone into. And it's an island, for goodness sakes, so they had to
Everything,
ship
yeah.
everything over there.
Except we noticed that what they built the structures out of was heavy shell, and now that it's been weathered, the shell is really exposed.
Yeah.
So it was like Marty said, they had the sand, they had the shell, all they had to bring was the cement probably.
Yes.
And
Yeah, when you mix cement, you need three components. You need the cement itself, the Portland or whatever you're using. That's number one component. Number two is sand usually, and it's an equal part. And the third equal part is aggregate. And nowadays we use little rocks
yeah,
or pebbles or something to fill the voids, because you don't need all of that cement.
and they had it's literally, you look at it, I got it up close.
Yeah, they use
Other
the
side of
shells.
the building, the
that
shells
they
are
found
sticking out
here
that far.
as an aggregate.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I could imagine how everything was built. I would put things together, and it was fake. It was made. Well, I mean, it's cast stone. It's not really stone. It was cement. But here they must have formed everything on site, poured it, and I appreciate the effort that went into this. It's beautiful. It must have been really, really beautiful, this place.
And the way they had to get all the stuff over here, they didn't
Working-
have
it was-
boats like we got. And
Yeah, but they built it as a place to sustain a bunch of folks. So there's a greenhouse, with a garden, a huge garden section, and
ton of history.
Yeah.
Ton of history.
anybody close to Cumberland Island, if you've never been there
It is well worth it.
and you like it, dude, I'm gonna be gushing about this place for a long
Yeah.
time.
It so far definitely tops our list of places to go.
Mhm.
Natural, just when you're just so natural. Like, great places like St. Augustine with all that history, but there's so many freaking people, it detracts from
Kind of ruins it.
It
Yeah, 'cause
ruins it.
There's a lot of people looking to make a buck instead
Yeah.
of, they don't care about the history and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas here it seems it's still natural.
I found an asteroid. Not really. It's coal. I found a piece of coal.
Probably, yeah.
But the reason it threw me is we used to heat with coal when I was young for a while,
Oh, it didn't
and
look
it was
like
like, it wasn't shiny like this. Apparently, water over it or whatever, it shined it up. It's kind of cool looking. I like it, and it's my little memento on good times here.
I've got a bunch of mental memories from this place, and that's about it.
So I want to say it tops the list. That definitely you want to come here.
Yeah.
We'll come to the questions, guys, in just a minute. You know how it flows for those that are new. We try to go through all our notes, tell you the stories, because if we try to answer questions and tell stories, it just gets all discombobulated and just whatever. So, quick thing on mine. So a couple orders, people that's placed orders, a couple mugs and stuff. I hadn't had a chance to get to the mainland, so I'll go Tuesday. So anybody that's got current orders in, they'll be coming out for sure Tuesday. FYI. So you basically sold them. Kontiki's Motors is pretty much trouble free.
I had let it slip my lips once that I would take care of Kevin. Is that his name? Kevin?
Kevin, yeah.
And he talked us into what was wrong with the motors.
Kevin was very instrumental in helping.
Kevin, I owe you one to this day, and I don't know how to make it up to him. I want to somehow, some way. Meanwhile, people have been making it up to me. I've been continuing to get good vibes and donations from folks. Very recently, somebody was very, very generous to me. I want to get his name correct, so I don't want to screw it up. I've been in contact with him, but essentially, like, he helped me out with the heat exchanger issue, which was very expensive. And it blows my mind to think that people are so generous. So, dude, you know who you are. His donation was over the top, and there have been many, and it's impossible to say thank you to everybody. So,
where was he? Where did he live?
New Jersey.
Jersey. Oh,
Yep.
okay. So
he wants to meet up there, and I absolutely hope that we can make that happen.
Cool.
Because it's amazing. I wrote to him, I'm like, dude, is that a mistake or what's the deal? And he's like, no, I've been watching you for a long time. You've been very inspiring. I helped him get him into kayaking, and now he wants to.
Beer.
Sure. And he's thinking about doing the loop.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I know that what we're doing is affecting at least a handful of people out there, and maybe more. So that was really cool, man. But yeah, Kevin especially.
Right along a little bit.
Sure, of course, man. It's absolutely welcome.
Yep.
Oh my God. Is that drinkable or is it frozen?
I don't know. My refrigerator, if it's in the back, it freezes. Although it'd be nice and cold. It is frozen.
Yeah.
I think it's not frozen. I think it's just.
See, you have the good times and you got the bad times. You take the good with the bad.
Somebody that helped us out tremendously, at Chris Turner at our last big meetup when we did the big meetup.
Yeah.
And we got to think about one in Georgia now when we get further up, maybe at that place.
Okay.
But
that'd be cool.
he's coming. Him and his wife are coming. Stay on the boat Sunday night and Monday night. We're going camping. We're going to camp on the island on Monday night. That ought to be really cool. So that'd be
There's
some
so
good
many
videos.
people that I want to share with, and then some fans have come by since we came into this anchorage, and for the past couple of days now, like I said, I've been a little bit out of my mind, and I've had blinders on. I can't look at the computer. I can't do anything except spend time with my dog. I've made it a point to do that in case it was, worst case, my last opportunities to do so. So I put that aside. Some people have come by and, things get in the way. And I can't share as much as I wish I could.
We've both
when
been
people
talking
come
about this.
Yeah. It's a shame when you see somebody come by and they wave and you're at least me, I'm like in this dark space, and I cannot make time for people, and it kills me when that happens. I don't think we've been very guilty of that, but every once in a while.
Yeah. Seldom. We usually stop what we're doing and spend time and talk.
And then I think to myself, man, I got so many videos to make, and I'm still not out of Titusville in my timeline on my channel for making videos. And I keep going to the computer and I look at it, and I can't focus on it.
So
I'm almost there.
Yep.
I go to the Kennedy Space Center. We look at
I'm
rocket
looking forward to
ships.
seeing that.
Yeah, I mean it's.
I want to see. You got to get busy, dude. You got to lock you in.
Yeah, instead of just sitting around on my laurels, right?
No camping for you.
No, right. Sorry,
Good times, trouble. The only my windlass has pretty much quit working. Y'all know it been it's brand new. I put it on just before this trip.
Yep.
And it's a Lamar, and it started giving me problems, and then one day I went up there, I was like, stupid winch, and I kicked it, and it started working. So that was like, oh. So then the next time I done it, I kicked it, it worked. And then I told Marty when I'd get underway and it was shaking, when it would quit working, it would start working, and I'm like, oh, there's a short. Anyways, I pulled the cover off, and it wasn't as easy to get to as I thought. I called the company. I got to pull it off. So when we get up there to that marina, Dallas Bluff, I'm going to pull it off. So I'll let y'all know.
Single-handing a boat this size without a windlass is extremely difficult.
Very
and
difficult.
Occasionally
dangerous.
So.
Because here's the problem when you don't have your winch working. When your winch works, no matter what the wind is doing, if it's blowing stink, and you can just use your engines to move into the wind, you can hit the button and it will come up because you're moving toward the chain or toward the anchor.
Slack out of the
You're
chain,
taking the slack out. When you don't have a windlass and you're in the wind, which one time we were in the wind, you have got to pull it and pull the weight of a 18,000-pound boat to it, and that can be very hard.
Yep.
Again, it can be dangerous if the winds are too strong.
And let's say you're in a mooring field and there's a boat right behind you, or an anchorage.
Yeah,
you're drifting towards it, and you're up there up front, and you're pulling the anchor. The more you pull, the faster you're going to drift, and you need to be at the controls and pulling the anchor at the same time. You can't pull it halfway up, tie it off, go up there, move forward, and then.
I could foresee times where if I don't think between now and the time I'm gonna get it off and get it fixed, but I would have to call Martin and say, hey, you got to come over, drive while I pull, and then drop him off, whatever. But
that's. I mean,
that's
you can start dragging anchor in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And what are you going to call somebody else? And hopefully they hear their phone. And
so it's a brand new anchor. I mean, we put it on just before I left. I mean, it's not even a year old. Like, that's crazy. 6 months old, really. Well, it might be a year old because I bought it and I had it for a few months. But as far as putting it on, so I'm kind of aggravated. I know Lamar's a very good name. I'm not going to throw down on them. They were right. I called them. They said, take it to a repair center. There's one in Jacksonville. I'll keep y'all updated on how that works out. So if y'all have a problem with one, you know how to do it. The dinghy motor part is coming. He'll have it tomorrow.
Nice.
I'll update you on that. Hopefully that's running. We'll see.
We could have used that today because we're right outside the dock at the where I've been taking the dogs for a walk, which is very important for a dog with explosive diarrhea. And the place was packed because it's a weekend. So I know there's another dock further up, and I came over and I saw Mike, and I said, this would be a great opportunity for us to go explore. You, me, and the dogs. And the Bass Raider is a little too small for that. So it would have been a great opportunity for the dinghy that you bought.
Yeah.
But the motor doesn't work. So in the future, we'll be able to do more exploring with a larger tender. I think, the Bass Raider is, oh man, it's a freshwater little boat. And I'm using it as a dinghy.
It's done well.
It's done extremely well.
Yeah, it's outperformed itself, really.
Sure, of course. For me and the dogs, it's fine. But for all of us all together, it's too much. So I'm overloading its capacity. The capacity is, at the rental place, people would show up, maybe big people, and I'm like, you might want to do this kayak over here. It's more your size. It's a delicate subject sometimes when you're talking weight and vessels with a small boat. But the dinghy has done good. But
Jay Hen, thank you for the super chat. Buy some beer. You've always been so good. I appreciate you. Always have helped on super chat. So we're gonna answer some questions.
beer helps too.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
God,
doubt.
with hard days, you know.
Let's see. Buck Rogers, are we waiting? So sometimes I get that. I get the lives going or even the mud clubs going, so you know we're coming. Because sometimes things happen and you can't start right at. So FYI, if it's those that we can see you're waiting, we're doing that so that you know we're getting ready to start. So
Wait.
just
All right.
like in the beginning.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
set them up sometimes 10 minutes in advance
Okay.
so that you know we're going to start. So if you ever see that, unless something bad happens, we're getting ready to start.
Oh yeah. Setting up the cameras, we're trying to make everything kind of work.
Yep. Luke, Raleigh, North Carolina, 70 degrees. That sounds very good. Let's see.
70.
Joe.
Actually, it was like 50 something the other morning.
Oh, yeah.
This morning, I think it was.
Is it tonight's the coldest
Really?
night, I think? Supposed to be 50, yeah, tonight.
Sweet.
Hey, Joe. How you guys? Dave. Hey, guys from Baltimore. Chris Turner. Afternoon, gentlemen. What's up, man? About to see you.
What's up, Chris?
JFK got married there. I'm pretty sure. You correct, on the north end of the island, which we're probably not going to have time to get to.
Cumberland?
On
Really?
Cumberland, yeah. Unless we somehow.
Boom.
Oh Lord, it came back.
I got it.
It did. It came back. I didn't think he's gonna get it.
Back. Is this thing on?
Yeah, it is.
Somebody tell me it's on.
See, I'll know in a second when it pops up here.
That was like him knocking on the windlass. I got it to come back. Is it, are we on?
It must be. It's not showing up here yet. Yep, we're on.
Hey.
You know, powered on.
Yeah,
All right, we'll go back. We'll start back through these questions like it came on. I don't know.
there must have been some sort of atmospheric anomaly or some gas from Uranus or something like that.
Y'all know, no,
Might have been-
Bayards.
Yeah, gas from Bayard's anus.
Y'all, FYI, we're doing stuff that is not like live streaming. We don't know anybody that's doing anything like it. So
Yep.
when the streams drop out, we can't help it. I'm very happy to know
Not my
that
fault.
that we have had service. We kept hearing people say that you weren't going to have service. I had service on the other side of the island and on this side. So far so good.
Yep. We're back.
We'll finish answering some questions here.
Yeah, a fella said that he came by today.
Yeah, Mike and Linda, enjoyed talking with you today. Sorry we missed Marty. Hope his dog is feeling better. Mike joined your mud club to support your trip. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. Those that joined the mud club, and it's available on michaeljsteen.com. That helps me to keep my trip going. That's my main source. I don't make enough on YouTube, obviously, to do it. So Marty with he's large channel. I'm small channel. So,
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I'm trying to keep up, and I have no idea how to do it, man. You know, to make videos while you're underway.
yeah,
So
it's a challenge.
I rely on Mike heavily to do these live at fives, to keep you guys up to date as to where we are. So, cheers to you, man.
Thank you. Let's see. Carmel area, all day coaching kids here on the beautiful Memphis day. Sure would like some of that water behind me too. Hoping y'all getting to enjoy it, liking riding along. Dude, I constantly, and I was telling Marty this,
Being thankful,
the secret to happiness is is to be thankful in the moment. And like today, this has been a magnificent day as far as the water goes. And I am thankful that it is. I stop all the time, like, and I'm working. I stop what I'm doing and I look around and I go, man, I mean, it's like beautiful. And that is, I think, the secret to happiness. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. I'm going to do a little special thing just about it. But when the moments are good, you got to love the moments. When the moments are bad, you got to, like that bird, that picture where that bird got his head down and it's raining. You just got to put your head down and work through it. Otherwise, we wouldn't get to these awesome moments. There's a lot of put our heads down moments coming still yet. Trust me, those are coming, and we got to fight through it. And Chaz says those destructive things allow you to do what you're doing, and that's true. Stephen Lewis, hey, from the UK. Let's see.
There's been some moments where I walked the dogs recently on these amazing paths, and I reflected on where I've been, and I am very, very thankful.
Yep. Anchor Watch Pro app. We both have Anchor programs. I use, and I actually just videoed this for one of my videos, but
Anchor Light.
I got Anchor Pro now. I had Anchor Light. Anchor Pro is essential. Although these are the kind of things that happened the other night when Marty calls me and says, "Hey, I think you're dragging." My freaking phone had cut off. So stuff can happen to you when you think you're all prepared. You just better be sort of ready to handle it.
At this anchorage, there's 3 different things that I used to ensure that I wasn't dragging. Anchor alarm on my phone was 1, but it was the 3rd in my 3 things. The first was my eyes. I would find a reference point. What's funny is there's a dock over there behind us, and if I looked out of the bathroom window, I could see it. It was sideways to me, and I knew if I was going to drag, which direction I would go, and that was the first thing that would change if I was drifting. And every time I looked at it, it was the same, and it gave me great confidence. The phone, sometimes your GPS signal is not as strong, and it shows the numbers changing, and you jump out of bed and you're thinking, "Oh crap, I'm drifting." No, you're not.
Yeah.
So the second thing, first it was my eyes. The second thing was the chart plotter. I left it on standby.
That's what I do.
And it draws a little circle as you swing with the tide this way and that way. It draws an arc as to where you are, and I've got video of this. And as long as that little icon, the boat icon, is within that arc, you know you're still held fast. It may look like you're in a different position because the boat is swinging, and I've got 100 feet of anchor chain out. 100 feet swinging from here to there can look significant in a small anchorage, but you're still stuck fast. And if you look at the sonar, or the chart plotter rather, and you see that you're still within that arc, you know you're okay. So there's been several things that I keep referring to make sure I'm not drifting. Anchor alarm is number 3.
Yeah.
That's when I'm in the cabin and I can't look at my reference points or the chart plotter. So.
It's really too. You hope it stays working during the middle of the night, and
you talk about having faith.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah, I just thought about that actually. I think it was this morning when I woke up. I was laying there thinking, because when I wake up, I'm like, "Thank you, Jesus, another night." Yeah, we didn't drag. Although nights like this, you sleep pretty good because you can feel. But when you wake up and that thing's doing that, you better get up and check pretty often, because that's when you're going to drag.
You felt the wind this morning? At
Yeah,
about
no. I was saying when I got up.
No,
I was
but like at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, a little bit. But but not like it was the other day. But
no.
When I wake up, I'm like, "Thank you, Lord. We had a good night, and you don't have to stress." Because I slept good last night. I slept real good. Yeah. Probably one of the best.
I would have slept really good if the freaking dog didn't keep throwing up on me and shitting in my freaking.
Let's see.
I hope he's better.
Let's see. There's a lot of things praying for you. Hope the dogs get better.
Thank you.
Some say get him to a vet.
Well, he's had this before, and you get like 3 days or so. Beyond that, any more dehydration is dangerous for a pup. So,
me being a praying man, I'd say the prayers is the absolute best. No question about it.
even if you're not, even if you're a scientifically minded person, hope is a good thing. It is absolutely good.
Absolutely. Without hope, people perish.
Yes.
So when you don't have hope, you perish.
Yes. Whether it's your faith in God or if
That's right.
it's just
Whatever it is.
just you got to look on the bright side of things, and whatever it is.
Somebody said start checking for snake bites. The dogs are not away from him long enough where that would be any. I
would have heard it.
Yeah. Plus, they were on lead almost the entire time, except when we were on the beach. As far as being on the lead, we would have been like we did see a snake.
Yep.
Seen a black
I'd
snake.
say it's not outside the realm of possibility, but
Someone says sounds like a virus infection. We think about that. Usually, though, with a virus, the second dog gets it. No one's going to know for sure. I think he's getting better. It's my belief he's getting better. We'll see.
yeah.
Hopefully, he is.
And you know what? Even in the worst case scenario, it's just when you have a dog for such a long time, it's such a hard thing to do. All of us will succumb to something at some point.
None of us.
There's no comment. There's no vet. There's nothing that you could listen to that's going to alleviate you from that inevitability.
Yep.
Whether you're a person or a dog, that time will come. So
As they say, none of us are getting out of this alive.
that's correct.
None of us.
My hope, my prayers go for Bayard getting through this journey with me.
Yep.
Because he's come so far.
Yep.
And to not make it for the next, I don't know, it might take another year or so. It's not outside the realm of possibility for him to make it that long. It would stink to lose him along the way. Although if he does, oh my God, it'd be so nice to not have hair and puke and in my boat, but the emptiness would be worse. And I think to myself, I'd be asking people, anybody have a black lab?
Yeah.
I got the balance in my life, and I can't have just one.
Renegade Rabal, can I get a shout out? What you want to shout out? There you go, brother.
He's the flounder fishing man, big redfish fishing man.
Dean Fulford says, my dog is my best friend and my kid all in one. I lose her, I don't know what I'd do. Many of people like that.
Yep. It's so tough. But what do you do? Seriously, I thought if ever I were to lose these pups, and if I live long enough, that day would probably come. I thought they're such a great combination. The white shepherd, the black lab, both came to me without much searching. So it would feel dirty for me to search for another white German shepherd and a black lab. But I would probably put it out there and say, if anybody's close and they have a black lab puppy, and you want him or her to go on a great adventure, I'd be willing to take them on that adventure.
Robert E. Lee is buried in Lee Chapel, Lexington, Virginia.
Virginia.
But there is a Lee, and it was because
it said General
yeah.
Lee.
And although I thought I heard it say something like kin to General Lee, what we're doing is this is a cool thing on the island. You dial a phone number, and when you get near a sign, you hit the number on the sign, and it starts telling you what you're seeing.
That was a cool feature.
That was a cool feature of that cemetery. And I thought it said something like a relative and when you heard that, General Lee, but I'm not sure.
General Lee's cousin once removed.
Yeah.
He was a terrible general. But you know what? He was General Lee.
Adventures of Happy Hours. Happy Saturday. It's martini time. Okay. All right. Y'all supposed to already been down here by now.
Only on Saturdays?
Yeah. Scott, I had a 20-year rat terrier, and he is as
20-year-old.
Splendid leg because he has a bone cancer, but he's still doing well. Good.
20 years. Oh my gosh. By then, I'll be like, Bayard, look, come on. He's only 11. I mean, my goodness. All right. Hey. Stop. Who's texting me?
I can tell where it shut off and then it picked back up. It just popped out a bunch of them.
What's that?
The comment.
Get a. That's my buddy Steve. Thanks for calling me while I'm doing it. He says, hey, get a bottle of pink Pepto and give Bayard a teaspoon full twice a day. That's good. Boiled white rice. I've got white rice. No required dog food for a day. No regular dog food for a day. He needs to rest his stomach. He's done that just fine. I have rice on board, so if anybody in the neighborhood has Pepto-Bismol and wants to come by the Anchorage and drop it off, that'd be great. I'll pay you for it. You know what? I don't want to say that because I'll have like 12 bottles of Pepto-Bismol. But yeah, thank you, Steve. Yeah. He's rambunctious. He's still wagging his tail, and he's still doing good.
Here's a good question. Axel, what is a reasonable miles day if you were solely focused on transiting? That is a great question because
what vessel?
Yeah, but I'll say it like this.
In our boats?
Yeah. We we've lowered it now. We say 7, even though we can run 8, 9, but we average somewhere around 7, probably 6 something, because you got tidal currents and all this. But 7's probably a good number. But here's what I'm assuming in your question you're asking is if you were basically trying to move every day. Well, we don't want to move every day. That is no fun. Moving the way we're doing it, and because I always get this question, well, aren't y'all behind? No, we're right on schedule. Matter of fact, we got to be careful because we have planned a month per state going up, and we're on that schedule. So we see people, I'm telling you, we see people all the time. They're moving every day. Why do you even do that unless you're trying to get to point A to point B? If you got to move, and I've done that. So here's a good answer to that question. I bought a boat in Niantic, Connecticut, and took it to Merritt Island, Florida, and done it in 14 days. So you can do it, but it sucks because you're passing all these beautiful places and you don't get to see them. I also helped.
You wouldn't have seen horses
on
the beach?
No, you wouldn't. No. So I also moved a 42-foot main ship from Wilmington to St. Augustine, and it took about 7 or 10 days. But it just sucks moving every day. That's working. That's work.
That's a job.
Work. So we're doing it the way we want to do it, which is move. Shoot, if we move, well, the average state we see is about 150 miles on the coastline. We only got to do that in a month's period of time. So we're in no hurry. Absolutely no hurry. That's the way I want to do it. It's great.
I feel bad that we have a weather window coming up and we might go on the outside.
Yeah.
And bypass a lot of this ICW nonsense by just going straight up.
Yep.
And I worry about all the things that we're going to miss. But, even with our slow speed, schedule becomes an issue. So
it's usually the wind, and you don't want to get caught in the wind. Because here's the problem. There's supposed to be a blow like on Wednesday afternoon, 30 miles an hour. That's not so much a problem inside the ICW, but when you cross a sound, that's a problem. You're gonna get a lot of wind-driven waves. So if we can get there before then, it'd be nice to be tied to the dock and not even think about it. It'd be like, yeah, it's blowing pretty hard, but you tied to a dock at that point, or at least you was tucked in behind something. So if everything goes as planned, we're gonna leave Tuesday midday after we fuel over here. According to the tides, they're gonna catch us just right. So this is the kind of stuff we probably ain't even talked about this yet. I mean, we talk about tides a little bit, but here's how when we get ready to move, we start looking at the looking at the winds. We start looking at the tides.
That's a good app.
That's
windy.
a very good app. I just videoed it showing that last night, matter of fact, because it was with the wind. So what we start doing is, at what day does the window of the wind and the tides line up? And like, so if there's an inlet here, and the tide, and you're up here, and you're away from the inlet, and you're going to go towards the inlet. Well, guess what? You want to catch it on the right tide where it's pulling out, so it helps to pull you to the inlet. But the problem in Georgia, you have inlets so close that you will move and run into the tide. It's just inevitable unless you get on the outside. And then it doesn't hold you as bad. When you get near an inlet, it does pull you, but not nearly as bad.
On big, fat, slow boats like ours. If you're in a little fast boat and you can get up on a plane, you're not going to feel it so much. So that reverts back to that earlier question which is how much traveling, how many miles can you predict per day? It greatly varies on the vessel.
Yep.
We get passed all day long by these little boats that come and go, and they're doing 50, 60 miles a day and not really blinking an eye. We're not really cut out for that. We're cut out for long-term, I've heard many people say the rabbit doesn't win the race. People in fast boats. And they find that the slow boats inevitably catch up to them.
Yep.
Remember the tortoise and the hare?
Yeah, because they got to stop somewhere and stay.
Yeah,
they
you
don't.
got
They
to.
can't
You
stay
got to
on
wait
their
for the
boat.
wind and this and that, and then the slow boat eventually catches up. Usually not using as much fuel and seeing more sights because they're taking their time, and that's the lesson.
Here's the setup that we're seeing, and it's a possibility. It'll be great. It'll be great if I can live stream some of that. I definitely will. But the setup is, we will probably, if the winds hold, we'll probably go out of this inlet right here, work up to pretty close to the sound. There's dolphins in the background, y'all. I'm seeing them as I'm looking at the camera. We'll get near the sound, the sound or the entrance, the inlet, because these are sounds, Sapelo sound or Sapelo sound.
Inlets,
or inlets,
pass,
whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
But we will very well anchor on the outside because we may get there coming into dark or after dark, and then ride it out. Which, if it goes well, it won't be much worse than this. And then, but if not, if we're heading up and the wind is not doing what it's forecasted to do, then we'll go in an inlet, and then we'll just fight. We'll just fight the tide.
I can't wait to show you guys the beach out here.
Yeah.
Off of Cumberland Island. Because while we were here, we had a wind coming from the inland, and it was dead calm out there.
It was not much worse than this. It was crazy.
Yeah.
That would have been such a good day to have been traveling.
Woo! To anchor on the outside, which we have done.
We've done it.
On this boat.
Yep. Yep.
Is a magical thing because
it
nobody is out there.
And you'll remember the stars. In places like where we're going to be, there'll be no artificial light. Mm-hmm. And this is something that you got to see. If you've never seen it, and you get away from all the artificial light and look up on a non-moonlit night, there's so many stars. It's magical. It really is.
Let me tell you how magical it is. The other day, I've been trying to train Bayard to go up front to poop because he's going every hour or so, and I can't take time to bring him ashore. I'm hoping he hasn't pooped right now during this live because he's back on my boat. But I would take him up front, and it's stressing me out. Like, is my dog dying? I don't know. Is he sick? He's throwing up. He's making a mess of my boat. And I would drag him up front. Sometimes he would go willingly. Sometimes I would really have to push him to get up on the artificial grass on the front of my boat. And I'm like, come on, be a good boy, be a good boy. And I would look up. Honestly, I would find some solace in the stars. The timeless, beautiful stars up above made me feel better about the turmoil that was happening in my life at that moment because it was so beautiful.
Yep.
I looked up and I was awestruck. And I'm sure it'll get better than this.
Yeah, it went outside. There about Georgia, there's not too much artificial light.
Yep.
It is dark here except for this dock has a real bright light on it.
It does.
Yeah, but it's still pretty dark here.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Well, we've been going for an hour and 11 minutes. Oh yeah, that's about the longest ever. Guys, we're gonna wrap it up.
You got a yellow fly inside your boat right now.
Yeah. Oh man, there was a fly this freaking big in here. It's hard to believe that it's a horse fly too, some kind of horse fly.
You're gonna wake up in the middle of the night. He's gonna be feasting on you.
Well, that's what brings the story. With the horses, the horses go out on the beach, and you tell they're trying to get away from them flies. And flies are eating them up.
Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, we Googled how long.
Right there.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, he was 3 times that big. But they said that they don't live long lives here, flies and whatever. You know, it's a hard life. They're wild horses. I was joking with Marty. I bet they'd be like, yeah, fence me up and feed me every day.
They were skinny. Yeah.
Yeah, they were tall legs, like very long-legged horses, but
lanky and
their bodies look emaciated. You see the ribs real good, and you'll see it.
We saw some horses on the beach the other day.
Woo, wild chicken, wow.
Yeah, they were getting it on.
Right in the middle of public.
Yeah. Oh my God. So
I guess that's why all them.
How bad could it be, really?
Yeah.
You're a wild horse. Nobody riding you. Nobody telling you what to do. Putting shoes on.
Living on the beach.
I like not having shoes.
They just go out to the beach. They just hang around right by the water, and it's. We reckon this because it's cool.
A bunch of hippie horses having sex.
They just hang out around on the beach.
They're probably smoking that.
Yeah, they don't actually go in the water. They just hang right on the edge of it. I think they're getting away from the flies, personally.
Probably, yeah.
That's what I think they're doing. But guys, appreciate it. We're gonna wrap it up, and we'll see y'all.
Tough one.
Yeah, it'll be Monday. I guess if we have service, we're gonna wake up. I'll do a live or a mug club on the beach, because
we're gonna do some camping and stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna do some camping. That's gonna be really fun.
Thank you for the good wishes for Bayard, man. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, keep saying the prayers, and I'm gonna do a walk around, let you see a quick what we got going on here. Let me turn this camera around. It is bright. Whew, it's bright.
Very bright.
Things getting hot. Being in that sun.
Dude, what the hell is that?
What is that?
Looks like a freaking velociraptor foot.
What the crap is it?
Yeah, throw that away, man.
What in the world? It's a chicken foot. That's my bait for that lobster or that trap out there.
You gonna catch something or what?
I hope so. We'll see. I got a trap out.
I'm gonna freaking untie this thing and drive away.
All right, I'm gonna do them a little walk around. Yeah, you can't beat days like this, people. This is unbelievable.
It is. It's moments. You know, we're having moments in paradise.
Yep.
I read about Mutiny and the Bounty, right? It has many stories. After they mutinied against Captain Bligh, the mutineers found a home on an island, hiding from the Empire, which they knew would hunt them, because a mutineer is going to be hung by a short rope, right? They found this paradise in Tahiti, and they wound up killing each other. They were in paradise. You would think everything's beautiful and wonderful. And most of the time it is, but...
You trying to tell me something? Like you going to take me out or something? What the heck?
You can interpret that any way you want. I'm just saying, you know, it's
paradise.
It's not always beautiful and wonderful, unless you have the right mindset.
That's true.
Mike and I have the right mindset. We're not going to kill each other. So
no.
No worries there. Oh my God.
He's going to ride off into the sunset.
That's right. That's what I'm going to do. Paddle got away, by the way.
You did?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, it's tied on.
It's still there.
That's why I tie on. The little dinghy usually pulls it off, or the bigger dinghy pulls it off. See how this works?
It's a good parking spot for the little tiki.
Yep.
The tiny tiki. I'm gonna go check on Bayard. See you guys next time. Catch you later, Mike.
See ya. Alrighty, guys. right over there behind that island is the military base. That real tall area is part of that too. I'm not sure. Oh, see the dolphins? I'm not sure if that's like some kind of where they keep explosives and stuff possibly. I don't know. I know I've seen that before. But we were the other day when we first came in, we were anchored up around that grass and we got protection. It's high tide right now. When the tide goes down, there's a sandbar that comes all the way down. It's really cool if we have wind from the northwest. When that sandbar comes down, it gets calm here and it'll be rough over there, but it's high tide. But fortunately, we have the winds coming from the other side of the island. There was a boat, that boat right there was at the free dock in Jacksonville with us. There's some other people that's supposed to be coming in. And I'll spin around here. This dock here, that dock right there is where the ferry will come in. It comes in, I think, every 2 hours, I think starting at 10, something like that. That place was hopping just a little while ago when we started. I imagine the last ferry has already come. I don't know, you can look online. Certainly if y'all want to come over to Cumberland Island, that's the way to do it. I strongly encourage you to do that. Best to come during the week though. Come and camp out and you can really get a really understanding of what this place is really all about. Again guys, appreciate all y'all's support. Appreciate that super chat. Those that are interested on the mug club, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, purchase a mug on michaeljsteen.com. That helps me out. But really appreciate y'all coming along. We enjoy doing these. We enjoy sharing with you. And we got some curves. Yeah, this one up here. Let's see right here. This one around. When we leave, we're going to go out that way and go over to St. Mary's and then back out that way. And there's a nice bend up there. Y'all stay tuned. We'll figure out what's around that bend. Not sure what it's going to be exactly. I know it's going to be. It's going to be a good time.